Well, how often has this happened? You're rushing to get to work only to get into an accident. Question is, what do you do? We have Mark Anidjar and Glenn Levine here from the law offices of Anidjar and Levine to give us advice from the legal playbook. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, first thing I do is, first of all, panic. No, that's the last thing you should do. I guess the first step when you get into an accident is make sure everything's okay, and then...
I would say the biggest mistake that most people make is they try to just exchange information to save time. And I would say the most important thing is call the police.
Sure.
Make sure you call the police, make a report, because on that report will be a lot of detailed information that will help you out in the future, such as the name of all the parties involved. If there's any witnesses, the police officer will gather that information, insurance information. So the time spent in calling the police, waiting for them to arrive, and getting that information would be critical in helping you getting your car repaired, or if you're injured, consulting with an attorney if necessary, and helping getting you compensated.
Okay, so that's an important point, because we so often look at the small picture about getting to work, but in the big picture you have to have that information in order to take action.
You absolutely need it, and the other thing is just to make sure you're okay. A lot of times people think, they're shaken up after the accident, but they were in such a rush to get on with their day. If you're not feeling well, make sure you get yourself into a doctor as soon as possible, or an emergency room, because you want to make sure you get your injuries checked out.
Great point. I've been seeing the commercials now where you can take your smartphone, and a lot of the major insurance companies like Allstate and State Farm, you take pictures and then send it to them. Is that a good idea?
Well, you want to document the scene if you can. If there's damage, you definitely want to take pictures with your iPhone and document it. And your insurance company, if you do take it, will be looking for that information for you to share it with them.
How hard is it to get compensation when the other person doesn't have insurance?
Well, I think one of the things you need to purchase is something called uninsured motorist, and most of the times clients call our office and say, well, I have full coverage. Well, full coverage doesn't give you uninsured motorist, and a lot of the drivers in South Florida, unfortunately, are either driving with canceled policies or policies that have the state minimum requirements, and if one of those individuals hits you, unfortunately, you're left with no recourse to get compensated for your injuries. So a way you can protect yourself in that type of situation is by what's called uninsured motorist.
Got it.
And that will allow your insurance company to step into the shoes of the person that hit you and compensate you to whatever you purchased.
All right, fellas, and if all of those preliminary things that we take don't work, then we call you.
I would call us anyway.
All right, there you go. Talking like a lawyer. Call the law offices at 800-747-FREE or check out southfloridainjurylaw.com for more information. And you can catch the law offices of Anidjar and Levine every Friday right here on 6 in the Mix.